Welcome to D&D Daily English, everyone.
I'm Daphne.
And today is the 29th of May, 2026. Joining me, as always, is Dan. Today, we're looking at a topic that is deceptively simple on the surface, but rather profound beneath it. Plastic waste, sustainable living, and what one writer discovered when she tracked every piece of rubbish she produced for a full week.
Hey everyone. And honestly, this story got me. Like, we all think we're doing okay, right? Tote bags, recycling, gold star for us. But then this writer did a trash audit and holy cow, her entire dining room table was covered in waste. Her whole table.
Precisely, and that is the crux of the issue. She considered herself a reasonably responsible consumer, avoided plastic bottles, recycled consistently, borrowed clothes rather than buying new ones. She'd have given herself a B rating, she said. Then she actually looked at the evidence. The result was, in her own words, sobering.
Yogurt cups, coffee lids, plastic wrappers, takeout containers. It just piled up. And I think about that myself. I've gone back and forth on whether small swaps really move the needle. Like, is one reusable bag actually making a difference?
That is exactly the question the experts in this piece address. Joel Harter, a professor of environmental studies at the University of California, makes a sharp distinction. He says swapping disposables for reusables is a helpful starting point. It builds awareness, shifts habits. But the much larger problem is packaging itself, how products are designed and distributed across entire supply chains. That is where most waste originates.
And here's what surprised me. He also warned against trusting recyclable or compostable plastics too much. A lot of those materials need special industrial conditions to actually break down. Otherwise, they just end up in landfills anyway. That's kind of a gut punch if you've been feeling good about tossing stuff in the recycling bin.
Quite. Recycling still consumes energy, water, and infrastructure. Shelley Miller, a professor at the University of Michigan, frames it even more broadly. She argues that plastic is a symptom, her precise term, of a much larger cultural problem she calls take-make waste. Single-use anything feeds that cycle.
Take, make, waste. I love that phrase. It's so accurate. And she makes a great point. Sometimes skipping a short car trip or just eating your leftovers can actually have a bigger environmental impact than switching to a paper straw. It's about the whole picture.
And the third expert, zero waste advocate Catherine Kellogg, offers perhaps the most practical advice of all. She says people feel pressured to immediately eliminate all plastic, and that simply is not realistic. Her approach is smarter. Avoid plastic for food storage, but reuse old containers for organizing other items. Durability and intention matter more than perfection.
That's such a healthy way to think about it. You don't have to flip your whole life overnight. Start somewhere. The writer started with mesh cotton produce bags at the grocery store instead of those flimsy single-use plastic ones. Small swap, real impact.
And the experts offer some genuinely useful guidance on where to begin. Avoid products with multiple layers of packaging. If something is bagged, boxed, and shrink-wrapped, that is a red flag. Look for glass, aluminium, or paper. Be skeptical of vague marketing language. Words like eco-friendly are entirely unregulated. Look instead for specific claims, 100% post-consumer recycled paper, for instance.
Also, bulk refills, concentrates, solid form products like bar soap or detergent tablets, lower waste, often cheaper too. I mean, think about it. That's a win on both fronts.
Absolutely. And today's vocabulary to remember is sustainable, audit, disposable, reusable, packaging, landfill, and consumption. These are words you'll encounter constantly in environmental discussions and increasingly in everyday life.
Bottom line, you don't have to be perfect, but you can be more aware. That trash audit idea is genuinely eye-opening. Maybe try it for just 3 days. See what you're actually producing.
A splendid challenge to close on. Today's episode has reminded us that sustainability is not about grand gestures. It is about thoughtful, systemic habits built over time. Small, intentional choices compound into meaningful change. If this episode gave you something to think about, please do like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Your support genuinely encourages us, and we promise to continue refining and bringing you better content with every episode. Keep learning, keep growing, and we'll see you next time.